I'm so excited you guys are here. Hey, Ren, coming in here from LA. We got Jenna from Spokane. I'm just so excited everyone's here. I'm coming from Franklin, Wisconsin, where it's getting really cold, but we're getting the Christmas lights up.
All right. And while we wait for more people to arrive and enter into the Facebook Live group, let this be the time where we kind of talk about, what the joys are of being a mom. What are some of the most funniest things that you have that has happened recently? Anything anybody would like to share?
Love to hear it. You can share in the chat or unmute yourself, either way.
Yeah, this is the Mama Genius Hub.
I am experiencing oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, my most recent, and when you said funny moment, so I'm helping my kid learn how to use the potty, and he said pee 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 pee, and he had his diaper on, and I was like, okay, I'll just whip it off. And so I'm in the bathroom and I whip it off, but it wasn't pee pee, it was poop with a slight diarrhea, and it went all over the bathroom, on the shower door, everywhere. So now I had pee pee poopy diarrhea everywhere. So I had to wash and everything like that. So yes, funny, sad story.
Wow.
I'll relate. Well, I smell like campfire because right before this, my 8-year-olds were out building a campfire in our little garden space. So they were learning all sorts of things like which rocks to use to make spark, how to use a lighter, and all how to keep a campfire going, and all these fun life skills. So
I love that.
Yeah, that is funny. Any current struggles that maybe you would like some encouragement or tips around? I mean, that's at any age for parenting, really. Come on, this is the launch party. Share some things. Let's empower one another and encourage one another and share some lessons learned.
I mean, struggles, like how long do we have? Because I have a list load of struggles. Like seriously.
What's the
From
age range?
what's the what?
The age range.
I mean, for me, it's more business, to be honest with you, like right now, this very second, because that's what I'm thinking about. But also, yes, you're right, age range. So maybe that's what I need to do is first categorize my problems. I'll get back to you guys on these problems.
They're not problems, they're struggles for us to encourage each other and help out.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to try again?
Well,
Anyone
I'm
else?
struggling because it is not letting me go live. So I think we'll just of course.
That's okay. We're meeting where we're at, and we can upload this live once we close it out. It's going to be a fantastic session, and we're here to celebrate, your launch of your podcast and hear more about it. So please, Michelle, let's get started. Tell us about your podcast launch.
Well, I thought you were going to do the bio first.
Oh, sure. I most certainly can. Okay. We'll stick with the short bio because it's so compact and I want to give her more time to talk. So that's what we'll start with. Michelle DeKaiser is a dedicated mama, empowerment speaker, author, and coach, recognized for her insightful contributions to 2 significant compilation books, In Voices of Women 2023 and The Parenting Owner's Manual. She shares her wisdom and experiences alongside her children, who are also esteemed authors. With a background in education and a deep passion for connecting mamas, she wholeheartedly supports mothers in igniting their passions through grace, community, and the transformative power of women's circles. Michelle's heartfelt mission is to create a world full of passionate, connected mamas who lovingly inspire those around them.
Thank you. I'm just so excited that everyone's here. And this is just, I have to tell a story because it was on my birthday, which was just October 25th. And I have been doing this blog idea for almost over a year, and I keep going at it. And it was just like my head was spinning. And I had this call with the guy who I work with in Australia. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm doing this call, and I'm just almost in tears at the end going, I can't do this. It just doesn't feel right to me. And I'm thinking about the word genius and what are the things that speak to my soul. And all of a sudden I like get off the phone. I'm like, that day I'm like, podcast. Why am I hiding behind the words of a blog? They want to get the words out, the voice out there. And all of a sudden I was like, I keep saying podcast to everyone. Everyone's like, you were talking about doing a podcast. Why are you not doing it? So it was on October 25th. So it was less than like only about 2 weeks ago. I decided this is going to be a podcast rather than a blog. So all these interviews that I've been doing for the blog, so that on YouTube, if you watch the YouTube version, some of them are like not quite right yet, but that's okay. We'll get there. But I was able to manipulate the audio version so that it all fits. But then this is how the Mama Genius podcast got birthed, was that I just decided I'm going for it and I want to get out there. And I'm like, I usually hide everything that I'm doing. Like I'm kind of secretive. I'm like, you need to get your message out there, right? And so this was the first thing where I was sitting in Bella's swim meet yesterday. It's 5 hours long swim meet, lots of like races in between. But I was just sitting there like actually texting so many Facebook messages that Facebook said you can't send any more messages because you're spamming people. And this is like the first time that I feel like actually excited by something that I'm like feel really proud of and really out there to like let's get this going. And I'm just excited that all of you are here and just seeing faces in here and I'm so joyful right now, and I'm thanking you all for being here. So I'd love I'm a little tongue-tied right now, but I forgot what we're gonna do next. That's why I have my 2 wing women here.
We were gonna play the trailer.
Yes, thank you. You should, Sherry. That's why I have you ladies. Hello and welcome to the Mama Genius Hub podcast. This is your one-stop shop to figure out what is that deep desire inside of you, mamas. We've been serving, doing so much for our families. This is a place to do something for you. Here's a little secret. When you do something for you, it starts to inspire those around you. I'm your host, Michelle DeKaiser, mother of 3, almost 13-year-old, 10-year-old, and 7-year-old, and wife of almost 15 years. Coming to you just as someone who felt so lost in the midst of motherhood. Felt like there was a fog over my eyes and I just wasn't sure what I wanted anymore. I'd spent time traveling, doing things before kids, but what was it I wanted to do with my family? To be part of something different, to feel that I had a say and figure out what was my genius. What were the things that I was good at besides being a mom? I love being a mom, but I wanted something else. And if you're here feeling the same, wanting something else, this is the right place for you. We're here to create that connection. And that's where we create the deeper connections with the rest of our families. We start taking care of ourselves with that self-care. And so Genius stands for guiding kids' genius. E stands for empowering mama's purpose. N, navigating motherhood. I, igniting those connections. U, unleashing that self-care. And S is we share those success stories that mamas have had. Because this podcast is all for you mamas. It's about there to ignite those passions within inside of you. And how do we do that? We do that through connection. For so long, we've been so disconnected from each other. This is the place to connect and learn how to do that again. We've lost it somewhere along the lines, and we will gain it back through this idea of women's circles, this idea where we can be our authentic, true selves. And we'll learn all about those, and we'll speak with circle leaders who've been doing this for many years. And we'll learn all about the tips and things that we can do in motherhood, all the things that we can do to not only make our days have a better rhythm to it, but really we get to take a pause and enjoy what we're doing, because that's what living in your genius zone is all about. It's finding that passion inside of you and figuring out a way to do that as often as possible. You know what? Along the way, we're going to work on finding that genius inside of the kids as well, because the sooner that we unleash all of this in each of us, the sooner we're going to create the ripple effect around us. And so this is all about living in our genius, our true, utter desires, because mamas, you deserve it. Through this, you will become the role models that you will allow your children to see what a happy, healthy adult looks like, because I know that's what you want for each one of them. And you know what? That's what I want for each one of you. So subscribe now to the Mama Genius Hub podcast, and I will see you in each new episode. And if you can't wait sooner, come join our Facebook group, Connecting Mamas Igniting Genius. Can't wait to see you and to learn more about each one of you, because that's what this is about, is a deep connection that we can find in each other. I thought to celebrate. Got that out. Podcast. This is your one-stop shop to figure out what is that deep desire inside of you, mamas. We've Are you still playing it, Sheree? Doing so much. Break. Well, there you go, ladies. That's what the essence of it is we're really going to dive into our genius. And again, genius is an acronym around here, not just the word, but it really does come down from the concept from Gay Hendricks, who gave us the genius zone and really gave us the idea of what are we reaching? When do we feel happy and excited? Just like I said, zone of excellence. I probably could have done the blog, but I would have been miserable doing it. And that would have been my zone of excellence, where it's not quite where I feel alive and awake. And sometimes we need the connections with other people to realize what that is, because it was through talking with Yamili or Cherie or Jenna or anyone that it was having these conversations. I realized there's something wrong here and it's not quite right. And so that's why part of it for me is when I went to the World Religion Parliament and really seeing what women's circles really are. I'd already been doing them, but I had no idea how prolific they are. The concept of how we talk together in a construct and putting intent into it, and it opens up our hearts to really find out who we are. And sometimes we just can't do that because we have the busyness of everything else going around us. So this is a place to really dive in and do those things together to really be able to do that and determine what is your genius, because some of us might not know yet. And I mean, podcast is in that realm for me, but I'm still working towards where am I going to go with this? And so we're going to do that together in this as we keep having these conversations and opening each other up. Because I mean, think about how many times when you talk to someone, you're like, hi, how are you? Fine. And that's the end of the conversation. Do you walk up and go, how's your life going? What's your dream? What's your passion? What are you? Where are you? But we're going to do that in here. That's what this is all about, is really bringing that out, because we do have to have those conversations. It does not become reality till you are seen and witnessed by someone else. It only lives inside your head till you get that out of you. And that's what this is all about, is that we do that and we get that out of us and we find out what is really inside of our heart. Because I know many of you have been in the women's circle already with me and can testify for this in a minute. I would love some of you to share some of it, because when you're in that circle and you start sharing, all of a sudden your heart takes over because you're in a safe place and stuff that you never knew comes out. And that's the whole point, is that to come out and help shape what you're going to do next, and to have the support of the sisters around you to make it happen. Because we have that flame growing right here, but if we don't protect it and let the right people help grow it, it's just going to get blown out by all the wind around us. And so we are that support circle for each other by being here, part of it as a podcast, part as the women's circles, but it's coming together in this group is what's really going to drive it. I'd love to hear some, I know there's quite a few of you that have been in women's circles already. I'd love to hear some feedback from the circles, or what you've learned about getting to your genius from being in that type of setting.
I mean, going to your first circle, I'd never gone to one before. I mean, I've been to, no, I take that back. I did go to the first one like 2 years ago, but it was not like yours, online and things like that. And I saw the shift from the beginning of the circle to the end of the circle. So I really enjoyed it. And from that circle, there's been a lot of shift in a lot of stuff that I've done. And today, because you and I have been working a lot on being very specific in our genius, man, I was crying through the whole thing, because I'm like, and I've heard it before, I'm following it. And yet the words today, especially after being at this event, is piercing my soul. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I've been wanting. Like as a mother, thirsty for it, right? Because who's applauding me when I'm cleaning up poop on the clean towels that I now have to wash, that I now have, you know what I'm saying? Like that just has a series of events that nobody's gonna pay me for, right? I'm all alone in it. And yet, now my kid, I've got to, so all of these things that I wasn't a career woman that kicked ass and got paid for it. And now I'm at home and nobody's giving me that. So the fact that you've created a platform for that is like, yeah, that is what we're looking for. We are geniuses and we need that. So thank you so much for expanding your voice and for doing it swiftly, easily, and effortlessly to show us that this is possible for us in our voice.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I just have, yeah, I was amazed how much I could get done in 2 weeks. And I don't feel like I was completely stressed about it, like I'd been about the blog, like kind of like not doing the stuff. And I mean, I still was at the swim meet yesterday. I was still doing all the mom things alongside of it, but not feeling as intense about it as I had in time. And problems kept coming up, and I'm like, that's just gonna happen. My email doesn't quite work right now, but it's okay. You know what? Those that made it tonight, and you'll be able to share the message of what you heard and learning. And that's what this is all about. It's just getting it out there the more we can. And I'm just so grateful for each one of you who did make it tonight. It really warms my heart so much. And I'd love to hear if anyone else would like to share.
I'll share. I joined her on several of her women's circles, and it's been a great place. Being a divorced mom of 2 teenage boys, you feel like you're kind of in your soul little world. And so having the circle to just be able to release stuff hanging out there just frees your soul for so many other things. And I've gotten the blessing of working with her one-on-one on some LinkedIn and lives and stuff in the past. And I look forward to doing this podcast with her tomorrow. It's been great to just be authentic and for us to work together to release both of our geniuses in those lives and just get out there and be there for others. So fabulous that you brought this to life, because our camaraderie on the lives were just so give and take. And to bring it live to a podcast versus trying to write it all out, I can totally see how it fits well with your way of doing life. So fabulous.
And like I said, Cheyenne, even the podcast version that will be on YouTube is one of our actual money and mindset. And so I took one of those episodes and actually turned into the podcast. You can't tell on the podcast, but you'll be able to tell on YouTube, but that's okay. We're done is better than perfect is what I'm just learning all the way along. I've got so much updated on my website today that I didn't think was even possible. I actually have digital courses posted as well as of today, which was amazing to get this all out. And it was just in time. Everything's kind of flowing together. And I'm like, 2 weeks, ladies, this is only 2 weeks. So bear with me with the mistakes, but you know what? Actually, despite the mistakes, I think it's going really well. Despite my voice, you know what? It's all about the energy and what we put into it. It doesn't matter, because you know what? You guys are giving me the energy that I need, and I appreciate you for that.
It definitely seems to be coming together, fitting your genius by taking it live versus hitting that resistance. You hit resistance for a reason, and now it's all coming together because you're where you need to be.
Thank you. Anyone else like to share or have questions about the podcast or anything?
I will.
Yay.
I'm so just in awe, Michelle. It's just so beautiful to see this fruition, to what I'd never heard your podcast intro. So to hear it, it sounds so legit. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just, and it's trusting it. And what you bring to the moms, it's you're not sure what you're creating. You're just looking for your passion, your purpose, your drive. And you exemplify that. And as you go forth and find that genius and inspiration, you get to do that and amplify that to so many others and do it in such a beautiful professional way. Like, it's amazing what you put together. And just, 2 weeks or not 2 weeks, it's like, look at how much this ripple effect somebody else put in the chat is just amazing, where this is the beginning. A year from now, 2 years, 5 years down the road, like, look at all that you'll have created. And I'm just so proud and touched to be a part of your journey and, witnessing all of your magnetic growth. So thank you for the stand that you do for mamas.
Well, I just love working with you and your mom, and just Workshop for Moms is another avenue that we started together. But it really is just find that common ground for the moms, and we've been doing this for alone too long, and doing it where we don't share how we're feeling about it, or if we do share, it's just going in the complaints of the days. And yes, let's share our struggles, but let's share our celebrations too, because it feels like a lot of times we're afraid to share the good stuff, like, oh, they're gonna look down on me, or like that's gonna make them feel bad. That's not what this is about, because when you have your celebration, that lifts all of us up. And then we keep getting celebrations because of it. And I've been bad at celebrating, so that's why I just want to do this party, and let's just celebrate right now, because it's out there. 4 episodes are live right now as of 1 p.m. today. There are 4 episodes for you to listen. 2 more will be on there tomorrow, and then I'll have one Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday already posted too, coming out.
That's awesome. And I just have to give a plug for your women's circles, because I had never really even heard of them before connecting with you. And so having that space and being a part of it, it's just been beautiful. It's like coming in at first, like no clue, and coming out of it like, wow, this is amazing. And now recognizing that, and then knowing, okay, when I prioritize and I come to Michelle's circle, I know I'm going to leave there with so much more presence and connection and clarity. And it's like that stand that you do for people, and now having those podcast episodes that hopefully, or not even hopefully, intentionally, we know that the listeners on that podcast, now when they get to connect with you on those women's circles live and feel that magic, like, this is unbelievably amazing. So I'm so grateful for everything. And just to plug that the blog was not a quote waste. It's like, you already know and have the knowledge to repurpose. Like you said, my podcast transcripts become the blog, and the tools to now have your visibility seen. So it's like, just one thing, you're not just another blog and podcast out there. You're Michelle of amazingness, and everyone's going to get to know this because you have these tools under your belt. So beautiful job.
Just watch out, because I'm coming. You can't shut me up now.
Can I say something?
Of course, Willa. I'd love you too.
Michelle, and let the love soak in, please. Like Ren said, I'd never been to one of these either. Like, what's her name? I'll call her Ms. McBride. I can't say the first name. Yamal, how do you say it? How do you say it?
Jamile.
Oh,
Jamile.
Oh, Yanil. Okay, beautiful. I knew I'd garbage it if I tried. Yanil, beautiful. Okay, like you said, dear, as a career person and then becoming a mom, or even if you have not had a career and you're a mom, the questioning yourself and the getting, like, losing your identity. Who am I? Who am I? And what you in this circle, the safety of it. Now, I'm not a mom personally. I've got thousands of kids out there. I'm a teacher. But the safety of the circle, the non-judgmental, and the love to discover our passions, we have to let it go. We have to say whatever, we have to be spontaneous, right? And be as open as we can. And that safety of that circle is what blows me away. And with that safety, we all get that connection. We're all in this together, and we're all, like, nobody comments on anybody else's comment. That's precious, and we acknowledge everybody. I find it so powerful. And like you said, when you come out of it, there's a shift. There's a shift. And I have shifts in various parts of my life. Even though I don't have kids, I have shifts with my cat, but I have shifts with my kids that I'm teaching too. And Michelle, I have to say another thing, dear. Never mind the beautifulness of the circle. But you know what I was thinking? I didn't know that genius was an acronym. But I'll tell you, I have worked with thousands of moms. And I was thinking, if I was going to call anybody a genius mom, I've seen you in action. And I know what you are with your kids. I've seen many, many interactions, and I didn't know it was an acronym. So I was thinking, oh, great, she is a genius, and you're a genius for bringing this to us and giving us a safe place to be, dear. So I'm just so happy to be part of it. Love you.
Well, thank you, Willow. Well, it did originate as just Genius Zone and getting into the mindset of all that. But then
Okay.
as I was working with it, someone suggested, well, what if Genius was an acronym for your categories? It was from
Okay.
and when she suggested that, I kind of went through with ChatGPT and kind of worked out and was like, what are all the things like, because I mean, I didn't want it just to be women's circles. I didn't want it just to be one thing, but these were all like topics. And I wanted to make sure I didn't get too
Oh,
just all over the place. So my
right
whole
on.
goal was trying to get moms to find their genius. So if they don't know what it is, like to
Mhm.
come join part of it and get the power and figure out what that genius is. If they did know what, that's where the E comes in with empowering moms, because that's where a lot of the interviews come in, where I'm
Yeah.
working with other like for instance Mila's interviews about self-publishing, right? And so if they know that that's something they want to do, they get the ideas of where they can, how they can do that. And so I'm trying to gear experts towards the busy mom and how they make those dreams. If they've always dreamed of, I have a screenwriter coming on, if they've always dreamed of writing that, how do they do that as a busy mom? These are moms that have done
Right.
that. So it's
Yeah.
getting that genius and whatever it is and getting that out of you and seeing that it can be a reality if we put it in there and we do it together. And that's the other thing, is that we always think we have to do this all by ourselves. And that's the part that I want to alleviate from it, because even like tonight, I was like, oh, I feel like I've been, people kept coming in with, I'll help with this, I'll do this. And it wasn't like, you felt the energy and the power of all of it. And that's what it's all about, is
Mm,
bringing the connections and the people together, because we can't do it alone. We
no.
can think we can, but we're miserable, we're stressed, we're just
Yeah.
yelling at our kids all the time when we're trying to do everything by ourselves. But when we have the support, and all of a sudden I was texting, like, I had this email problem, and Ren was picking up and trying to help me out with that, and it's still not solved, but that's okay. But it's like I at least had people I could ask about it to at least relieve it from my brain for a little bit. And I think that's what it's all about, is that kind of connection and really figuring out, what are you really good at and you enjoy doing? And a lot of us, we've been so busy. I hate the word busy. I've been trying to figure out how to get rid of that word from our thing. And so here are some tips on that note. Instead of saying I'm so busy, say some of the things like, I'm so excited by the things I'm doing in my life. I feel so fulfilled by this right now. I have the freedom to do this. If we just start changing that mindset of when someone asks you, oh, I'm just so busy. How many times do you feel like you've said that? I know I've even said that today. But if we start that shift of the things of what we're doing that we enjoy, and shifting that we don't have to just say, oh, wow, I got so much going on. But what are the things I'm doing that I'm enjoying? What's in my genius? And the more we put our RAS, which particular activating system, into play with those kind of comments, then we make that shift in us. And for somebody who's hearing about the Women's Circle, if you're interested, there is one Thursday night to end this launch at 7 p.m. Thursday night that we will do a Women's Circle as part of this launch, because it is so vital that we all are part of this. Any other comments or questions out there? Because I'd love to answer them. Go for it, Agape.
Oh, thank you. Well, I actually want to just share some testimony and kind of piggybacking off of what Willow was sharing as it relates to that safe place. I talk about domestic violence, as a single mom, as a survivor of a double attempted homicide while I was pregnant. And I've learned that it's really, really hard to talk about such a sensitive topic and like convince people that there's a safe space. And I've tried so many different like gatherings or communities or, everything but a circle, basically, because like many of you, I didn't know that there was a circle that existed. And it is non-judgmental. It is very safe. And I felt for the first time in many of the things that I have tried, that I was able to be very unfiltered and just speak it out, what I was feeling at that time, what I was going through, and what I was really there with the true intentions of what the circle represents. And since that experience and staying with Michelle through her journey, I'm now at a place where I'm ready to work with her so she can help me create those circles, because I too, want to create that safe space for women, and definitely, for those mamas that are dealing with domestic violence. It falls under many different areas, mental, verbal, physical, financial, economical, technology, so many things. And when our children are exposed, we have some options to really sort through and decisions to make. And the circle is really a place where I'm seeing how vulnerable and safety can be combined at the same time. So I just really want to say that I've enjoyed this journey so much, and I'm looking forward to working together to multiply this blueprint that your genius has created, Mama. We lost you. We can't hear you.
You hit my mute button on my speaker. So I was coughing and
Okay.
forgot. I should have mentioned at the top of the hour, but we do have prizes as well throughout this, and we should have been giving some away along the lines. But I don't know, Agape, if you want to bring up the wheel and let's give something out right now. So the first thing that I wanted to give out is I have a digital copy of the Parenting Handbook Owner's Manual that I will be sending out to you. And this copy has both myself and my son in this book. And so I was so excited to be able to share this with you. And I have a digital copy going to, let's see. Lori! Oh no, iPhone. Who is the iPhone then? I don't know. The iPhone left already, huh? I guess we're gonna have to spin again because I don't even know who that was. We're gonna have to remove that one, Agape. Look, who's close? Well, you just got yourself a book, Jamila.
Woo! Yeah.
You get the digital copy though. I can just send it to you directly. But I will be sending out, let's do one more. I'll be sending out an autograph digital paperback copy of this one. So I will need whoever will need email me at mamaconnector at gmail.com to give me their address so I can mail this to you. So let's see who our winner is for that one. And this one, as I was saying as we're going, this one has my daughter and me in this book. And so we got to do that together. Well, Rosemary, I don't think I'll have to mail it after all. I'll be able to give it to you in person.
Thank you. I'm excited to read it, Michelle.
She knows Bella, so that's perfect. And her daughter's best friend, I'm really good friends with with her class. So that you won this book. Yay!
Awesome.
I might even have Bella sign it. I'll have Bella sign it too if she's willing. I don't know if she'll be willing or not. I never know with her these days. But I'm so glad you made it today. Thank you, Rosemary, for coming.
Thanks for inviting me. Happy to be here.
Any other questions at the moment? Comments? Sherry, you have any questions for me?
How often can we expect episodes? Because we're loving this already.
Yay! So are you gonna share the screen for me to help me answer that question? So this week coming out, we had 4 released today. We'll have 2 more released tomorrow. And for some reason, Spotify wasn't liking me, so it's 1 p.m. every day. And then I'll have 1 coming out the rest of the week to Thursday. And then I'll go to twice a week. We're gonna try to work towards twice a week, Monday and Wednesday releases around 1 o'clock and keep it. And then as Cherie was giving me some inspiration, I might be doing some solo episodes in there as well. And getting some of those out there, because the first episode number 1 is a solo episode just explaining a little bit more about the podcast and the vision behind it. So but then I'll be going into more details about some of the other things in solo podcasts as well. So we'll be looking for Monday and Wednesday releases as long as time keeps allowing, but we're going to keep this up. And we already have all the way up to the 30th already planned out, and we have some of our speakers in the house right now. We have Jenna right here, we have Cheyenne, and we have people who are going to be on the podcast because we have Christina here. I'm sure Patrice is going to join us at some point. I know Willow will, because she won't get away with it. And Ren's going to be, already has a December date picked out there, and Cherie's in there. And I know Agape is going to be doing one with me. So I think everyone in this room is going to be a speaker as well, because you guys love me. And so we'll just, I'm going to be doing another one of these in December for the YouTube channel. The podcast is live on the YouTube channel right now, with the first 6 episodes actually already on the channel. Live. Ignore the whole different videos and stuff that will change as we move forward. But you know what? Done is better than perfect. And we're going to live by that motto from now on as we're in our genius zone, because we're going to get better and better as we do this. But getting it out there, getting our voice into the world, getting the support to make it better, getting, refining as we go is the key. And that is so much better than just sitting there and going, I wish I could, I think I can. But together we can. With each other's support. We're going to rock this, mamas.
Can I ask a question, dear?
I wish you would.
Okay, this is this like every day this week, or what is?
So
like
yes,
when-
so these first 4, so if you see that 1 through 4 is, I don't know why I didn't put the episode numbers on there. Sorry about that. Have come out today. And so tomorrow will be 2 more. And then on Wednesday will be Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be 1 episode of this week. So all through the launch week will be, and then 2 next week, and then 2 the following week. And then we'll start doing, we'll just go by 2s. And this week, as through the launch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the schedule is all in the email, is I'm meeting with all of these speakers throughout the week to do Q&A with them in the Facebook group. As soon as it'll all be StreamYard, so it's actually that'll set up. So this was the only thing that wasn't set up. All the times and everything are all the events on the page right now. And then if you look at the bottom, Lindsay and Jenna, who I'd done different things with for the blog, turned out that I didn't quite have an interview already prepared. So you get to see a live. Most of them will be live from now on. So if I'm doing an interview with someone, it'll just be directly live to YouTube. So you get to see Jenna and Lindsay this week doing a live podcast interview as we go. So theirs will be a little bit longer. We'll do about 20 minutes to 25 minutes or so with each of the speakers. If you have any questions about the episodes, I know not all of them are live by the time, but you can look at their topic and ask any questions or anything you might have for them, or just come watch our conversation. Because if no one's gonna ask questions, we're gonna talk.
Okay, are you sending this out to us in an email, dear, or what?
I'm assuming you're on the email list because you got the Zoom room. So all these emails have been going out every day.
Okay, great. Because then I'll know where I am and when.
And if all else fails, go into the Facebook group and see what's going live and get your pings, because it'll be live to the Facebook group and my business page. And so all those pings will come up as it goes live.
This is so exciting. Okay, thank you.
More questions, please. I love to answer questions. Well, Patrice, you came in. I'm going to put Patrice on the spot. You came in a little bit late, but we were talking about people's responses, how you felt about being in women's circles. I know you've been in quite a few with ours, and you've given really nice testimonials. So if you want to share anything about what it was like to be in a women's circle, we'd love to have your say.
I first of all, excuse my evening lighting here, but I was
Wait, Patrice, sorry. We can't excuse that because we come as we are, and that is a rule. No apologies.
okay.
You're here.
Well, great.
It's more important than how you show up. So not allowed to
All right.
apologize.
Great. I love it. I love that. And that's the kind of thing that was in the women's circle too. It was that feeling of you could be there, be your own self, and feel supported and accepted, and just a really good vibe. Really good vibe. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, but I put you on the spot. So. Yeah. Anyone else have any questions or anything that I can answer for you? Because I'm just excited, and we might have to give out another prize in a moment. Anyone else? So this week, if you are not part of the Facebook group, do so or listen to an episode, I'd love if you gave a review on Spotify, or if you're able to, I do have a challenge in the Facebook group as well, though every day there's 5 challenges starting today. So if you complete all 5 of them, there'll be more prizes, more books, more courses given away. So please share, comment on each other's, because again, it's all about the support we give each other. So even if I'm not the one responding, I can't get there right away, you guys got each other's backs. That's what this is all about.
Michelle, like, who is the main targeted audience? Really, it's mothers, like the same kind of one that was for connecting mamas, or is it
Yeah.
more expanded? Yeah.
Well, it's basically moms who have that feeling that I want more, and thinking that the guilt of being part of that they can't do it, that they got to do everything for their kids. And there is that I feel at times I'm doing more than I even used to do when I wasn't thinking I was doing all these things. Like the more you start to do and start to feel the vibe, like you have the energy to start doing more. I mean, I still got the grocery shopping, dinner, like all these things that, like, in the midst of the launch, and like the website went quicker because I was doing those things. I mean, I worked on my website today too, and got my courses and things up that I didn't have done before the start. And so I think that's what it's all about, is the moms who just say that I'm too busy, I can't do that, but want to do something else. That's who this is for. They have that vision or passion, something inside them, and even if they don't know what that is yet, but they want to do something for this world and put their mark on it and make this a better place. That's who this is for. Anyone who just want to make a better place and want to make a better place for their kids and be a role model for them. If that answers your question.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Tanelle, for coming on. I didn't realize that was you for Adventure Learning. Thank you for coming on. I'm so glad that you were able to make it for a little while. But if you win a prize, then I know who won it. Thanks for letting me know. Any other comments or questions before we do another prize?
Question. So we know you have the podcast. You've mentioned women's circles. You alluded a little bit that you have like a course that you finished today. So besides those amazing things, is there other ways that moms can work with you, or that you support moms? How can people get even more Michelle?
More of me? Are you sure you want that? Well, you know that I work with Ren too, and Workshop for Moms as well. And we have a group over there where we do workshops, and we're also working on doing panels, and I always do the women's circle alongside that. So we've been doing weekly panels, and women's circle is part of that. And I'm adding on more women's circles to Connecting Mamas as well. I was gonna actually, just since we're here, or actually, Cherie, since you have it, can you just open up to the course page real quick when you get a chance, and then share your screen when you get a chance? I'll just show those, because there are discounts on the for launch week. They're half off right now for those courses. But also coming in January, I will be launching the Connecting Mamas 12-week course again, with checking in with yourself and really doing the women's circles and diving deep in to figure out what is your genius, what is your passions. And that will all be launching in January, because you know what, we're not going to do it before the holidays, because I know moms, we need to get through those. But come January, it's time to start on us a little bit and do those New Year's resolutions, but we're going to do them the right way. And so we'll be doing, we'll be alluding to that and getting that, but that'll be through the podcast and through the website. You'll be able to see those. But right now, this week, on the digital courses, I have these three courses offered. If you click on the pictures, it will take you to a little description if you so choose to. We have a small mini course you can take to start learning the check-in process and see if it even jives with you. And then these are 2 other series that I create with the family education series. One about rediscovering your spark, and then one about igniting that genius inside of you. So those are all available at a discount rate this week, and I'll take those down at the I believe till the 19th. So all the discounts are on there. If you want to just take a look at that, feel free to browse, share them, pass them around. It's all about just checking in with who we are, realizing where we are, and then deciding what we want to do about it. There's no judgment in it. That's the key to it, is just acknowledging where you're at. And when you come together and you start sharing that and realizing that you share that out loud in the circles and with other women, that there isn't the judgment attached to it, then you can decide where to go with that. And actually then create the vision that you want. Because once you have that vision of the future, then you can do something about it. But while you're still there thinking, I'm just too busy, And again, that's why I want to try to get rid of that word busy from us, but that's how we relate to ourselves. We're busy moms. It's how we've identified ourselves for so long. So that's our job in Genius, is come up with some new ways. And I think that might be one of my questions in the podcast is, how do we get rid of that name? Let's get some new ideas out there. Let's start spreading that. And we got the business. And the other word I hate, which I want to point out right now, is the word balance. Because when you think of balancing your life, there's two equal parts, and there's always like pressure on both sides. So I want to eliminate that word and use the word rhythm. We're not worried about the balance of our lives. We're worried about how do we get through the rhythm of our day and enjoy it, because things are going to swing from side to side. We're going to dance in different directions. And we think about the balls in the air as sometimes there's glass balls and sometimes there's rubber balls. Sometimes our kids are that glass ball and we need to spend more time with them, but then they become rubber balls at times. And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the ideas of what balls do we need to be working with right now and what rhythm do we need to flow through, rather than let me get the balance and make sure that it's equal. Oh no, life isn't equal. We say that to our kids every single day. And my 3 kids at different ages, we were just like, you're older, you have more life experience. You better make better decisions than the 7-year-old. We actually had that conversation yesterday. He called himself out on it. I forgot what came out, and he was just like, I have more life experience. I'm like, my husband just stops. He goes, that's exactly why you have to make better decisions when things are not equal. So we need to take that away, because that puts so much pressure on us to make it equal. It's not. It's find that rhythm that takes us through our day, that we can enjoy it more. I think it's time for another prize. What do we got left? Because I can't even remember.
I want to say I love that, Michelle, because it's true. You can't really find a true balance. It does put a lot of pressure to try finding what is balance. It's like trying to act perfect, right? And it's impossible.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, we use the words balance and busy and define ourselves by those words. So let's try. I don't exactly have the answer to busy yet, but like, let's explore it. I'm putting the question out there for us to explore. How do we do this? And let's come up with the answers together. I mean, I'm the facilitator in this group. Like, let's, that's what I love. Every one of you in here about Circle is you are all leaders in here. It's not, I'm just facilitating it. And you all have thoughts and parts that bring this out in you. And that's what we're bringing together when we have a circle. Everyone gets a chance to process that. When you think about someone in the front of the room, it's that expert. We disseminate that information, and then we got to figure out what to do with it. Versus when we're in circle, we get an idea, we share our thoughts on it, and then we process through the sharing part. Because when you're seen and witness, that's when the true magic is really happening, when you actually get those words out of your mouth. It's easy to have in your head when someone's in front of the room, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Knowledge is only potential power. It's what you do with it. And when you put those words out there, you're more likely to do something about it. And so I was looking for the prizes and they got on tangent. It's due to, we are on, who wants a free mini course? And so we just showed the courses. Let's give away a free mini course.
All right, let's see who that lucky winner is. Jenna.
You'll be getting that email, Miss Jenna.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Oh, well, actually, since I have you on, Jenna, I've worked one-on-one with Jenna. I'd love to have a test.
I was gonna
share a
say
little
something.
about that.
Yeah. So I had the opportunity and honor of working with Michelle one-on-one with some things in my life, personal, professional. I'm sure you can all relate. And she's one heck of a space holder, and that's like one of the most important things that someone in her role can do. And in working with her over 6 weeks, man, we cruised through some major stuff. And it was like personal gunk that was way down that I didn't even realize was holding me back professionally. And so, yeah, we worked through a number of things, didn't we? And I'm so much better on the other side of working with Michelle. It's just insane. So I'm looking forward to this free mini course. I know how wonderful it's going to be because I've worked with you, and I hope everyone else gets to also. So thank you so much, Michelle.
Oh, this is what it's all about, is just working and helping us find our own genius. And I mean, and you know what? And even at times, like you can coach yourself and say, oh, I need to do these things. but it's really when you have that other person, and it's hard to coach yourself. It's so much easier to be able to help someone else. And that's why, I mean, I still have so many different coaches as well, because you can't do it for yourself. It's like, just like when you do your own reading, like you write your chapter, right? In your head, it sounds right. Someone's like, why did you write that? Put those two words together. But in your head, it makes sense. And so we need that outside. So that's where the processing comes in, from either the women's circles or the coaching, or however it is that you want to do it. But it's the idea is to get these thoughts out of our heads. The best way is through talking them out or getting them down on paper. So if journaling is your thing, start doing it more often, so these thoughts don't keep circling and circling in our heads. And that's the whole key to all of this. So I'm so thankful. Any other questions or comments? I think we have should we give away another prize? Because you guys are really quiet now.
Well,
I'm being
I
towards
guess, I guess I'll
question.
go if that's okay.
I would love your question.
Hi, I'm Lori McCammon, and I'm from Maine. And I'm actually friends with Susan Nolan, who is your first guest on your podcast. And
I believe this is familiar to you then.
yes. So congratulations on this launch. I just wanted to be here to witness this amazing creation that you've all co-created, but you especially, Michelle, leading this and having the vision for this and bringing it forward. And what a wonderful community you have. I can really feel the beautiful energy and synergy and love amongst all of you. And it's so great to see and witness, because I've been part of a circle for probably close to 20 years. And I'm a mom. My son's grown and married now, but when I was a stay-at-home mom for his whole life, and so during that time, I was part of a women's circle, and I really credit that women's circle with allowing me to believe in myself, and I was able to have a book published. My very first book was accepted by a publisher, and with no prior job experience, platform. So I mean, I kind of, I feel like my story is proof that these women's circles are so powerful. And just stating what you want and the support of one another. And I'd say that happened to every woman in our women's circle, that we went in new directions and tried new things, and we're more bold and we're more authentic and honoring of our true selves. And it really does make a huge difference. So I'm so happy that you're reaching so many women right at that time when I think we need each other the most, when we're moms, because that's a hard job. And that's when we kind of need that nourishment and that companionship and that mirror of who we are in a greater sense. I'm not just a mom. That was always a thing back then. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just a mom. I'm so much more than that. And I see you and you see me. And it's such a powerful thing. And I can feel it in all of you, what a difference it is in your lives. It's wonderful. So Michelle, congratulations. And congratulations to all of you who are part of this and who are launching your own dreams and genius now and in the future.
Well, it's funny. And Susan told me about coming to the circle, so I wasn't paying attention to the name, but like, these are the cards I've been having on my desk, and these come from her book. And it was one of Susan's circles about not being enough that I came to at the Parliament, and all of a sudden I got the nerve to go tap her on the shoulder afterwards and say, do you know how a Zoom circle works? And can I show you this? And she's like, let me text my partner right now and do it. And so in my phone for the longest time, I just have Susan's partner and these questions from her. I learned it was bad. It took a while, but it was just the power of what happens when we come together and start doing this. And I had no idea why I even ended up at Parliament, I do, but Jean Shinoda Boland was my inspiration for all this with the Million Circle. And all of a sudden, about 2 months before Parliament, I'm like, what is she up to? Like, I thought she had this website where you could start saying how you're supporting the Million Circle, and I was trying to find that part and I couldn't find it. But what I did find was that she was going to be in Chicago in a month, and I'm in Milwaukee. So I'm an hour and a half away. I'm like, I could go do this. And I thought I'd only end up going down for the one talk, but it ended up being a long story. But my mom ended up coming and we went for the whole week together, which helped our struggling relationship a bit too. And it was just so amazing to just be part of all these circles all at once and meet all these leaders. And I think that's what branched this out to even say, let me start interviewing circle leaders, because I was just so passionate in the fact that I want the word women's circle to be mainstream language. I want people to understand what that means and decide for them if it's something they want. I don't want it to be this hidden thing, like thinking they're dancing the jungle or something, or whatever it is. And that is one type, but it's what you make the circle, what it is for you and what your group and who you're with needs. And it's more about the principles and coming with that intention. And I want to make sure that moms know, and women, and that we can take this and then become, it's not just for women, it's the process of it that we can, it's safer as we're getting started with this to come out of ourselves. But now, I mean, after being women's circles, I feel like I could have men in the circle. I think for us, it's going to start that way to get our courage back, because we have been so disconnected. And so it's time to join together and get this. And so that's where the Genius Hub podcast, I wanted like a specific, the Igniting Connection is all about women's circle and making sure people understand and can just say, I understand what they are, and choose and just give it a try, because it really is an experience. And so I think the more if we get that wording and that message out there, the better. All right, I think it's time to give away one of the courses. So Sherry, you had put it up there that there's the Ignite Your Genius or the Mama Rediscover Your Spark course. So the winner of this one gets to pick whichever one that they want. They get to choose to name your own adventure one.
All right, here we go. Let's see who the lucky winner is. Patrice.
Yay, Patrice. You get to choose.
Thank you.
And we have, go ahead, Patrice. Which one would you like?
Well, run through them again. Which?
We have the Ignite Your Genius or Mama Rediscover Your Spark. And if you want to go to the website and go to Connecting Mamas /courses, you could go take a look at them, and then you can just tell me later. I'll write down your name and you're good for it. You can go look at them. They're
We're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and choose, and then I will send you that link whenever you so choose.
Oh, all right.
I'm so good.
I did have a question for you too, Michelle. That the I'm a little wondering about, like, you know, when I come here and I see this, it's kind of like it all just happens so quickly. But I'm sure there is a lot of like, did you pull together a team first and to help you with this, or and if you have some inspiration for those that are thinking about starting a podcast?
So to be honest with you, what I did have was I had all the episodes recorded, except for the last two. I realized that they weren't an interview. So I had 10 interviews I just took from my live YouTube that I've done live with other people to make the beginning podcast. So those were actually already done at the time. But then it was, I got Descript for editing. And Descript will let you pull stuff in there and give you a transcript. So you're editing by the transcript. And it also lets you copy and paste stuff in there, and it will read it in your voice once you make a voiceover. So if you listen to my podcast and you hear the intro part and then the 5 tips at the end I started doing, those are actually AI. They do sound a little bit different, but they do still sound like my voice. So take a look at those episodes. And so that is just copy and paste in there. So I have in Descript, I just went and put, I will make the little intro, because what Spotify said was they're starting to do more playlists. So you don't want to start with just your trailer, like your song or whatever. You want something about the episode to engage people into reading it. And so then, I do a little bit there. I then have my song or whatever you call it. I can't even think of the wording right now. And then I paste in the transcript, and then I'll take out some of the wording because, like, for instance, with Cheyenne, we were talking about the name of what we were doing, Mindset of Money. So I took that stuff out. Again, just deleting it, does it for you. I made a little commercial for my freebie and just copy and paste that somewhere in the middle. And then I had the outro already done, and I just made a template with those three things: the intro, the commercial, and the outro. And then the other things I just made a template of that, and then I copy that each time I do a new podcast. And so the script really helped. I had no team really. I've been doing this mostly solo. I had a little help from a VA, but not much. So I did those. I was working on all the emails. Got everything into. I've been using Influencer Soft, which I really highly recommend. I'd love to go into more detail, and I might even have one of them come on the podcast just to explain a little bit more about it. So if anyone's interested, I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. It helps with the email and everything like that. And I'm trying to think what else. And then I went to just Spotify for podcasters is what I'm using to host it. It used to be Anchor. And so Anchor was a really good one for free for podcasters. And then they rebranded to Spotify for podcasts. So I had people recommending Anchor. And so I went directly with that and honestly pulled it together. So I've been doing all the graphics myself. All the graphics you see from Canva that I did myself. There is a bulk creation in Canva that I use at one point. I did have my son help post some stuff into Facebook, but I did all the graphics and stuff myself. They also have where you can type in things. They have graphics, but yeah, I don't want to talk too much, but I'd be happy to go over any of that with that. Yeah, I literally did it in 2 weeks. I don't know. I just was possessed.
Wow. Yeah, amazing, wonderful, wonderful job.
But if anyone wants more details or screenshots or go through that, I would be happy to do that individually because I don't know who's interested, who's not, but anyone wants to go over that, I'd be happy to share. I'm all about you reaching. And maybe, you know what, I'll do a solo, you know what I will do? I will do a solo podcast episode on the creation of this and the 2-week process.
Yeah.
We'll take notes on that and I will do an episode on it since you asked. I think that would be actually make a really good episode on how I did in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's a perfect way of leading by example under the genius.
I'm writing
putting
that
genius
right
into action.
Exactly. And realizing, I mean, the whole story of just realizing, I think that might be in some of the first episode. I don't even remember what's in there right now, but just of coming to this realization of creating this podcast and saying, I need to get out there. And I swear I have been hiding everything. And like, this was the first one, like Facebook has like banned my messenger for a little bit because I had spammed too many people.
Michelle, do you mind if I add on my perspective of seeing you grow through this process?
I would be disappointed if you didn't.
So having worked with her on several lives, what I realize is all this came together in 2 weeks, but she has been not jumping around, but working towards a goal for months and years. But she kept hitting resistance. And so this all pulled together because it's where she is her mama genius, because it hasn't been lack of effort. She has been putting in effort every day. We've had multiple conversations when she's been stuck, when she's been nailing it. And it still was like, it was kind of like spinning the wheels in the mud. And now that she hit traction, like she hit pay dirt, now she's off and running. So kudos to you, but I've seen her grow. So while the 2 weeks is quick notice on the podcast, her growth to get there has been a lot of effort, starting, if I'm not mistaken, with 75 hard. When did you do that, Michelle?
2020.
So there you go. So her hard work has been paying off bit by bit, day by day.
I think it's Tony Robbins who says, not what you can do 1 year, but what you can do in 3 years. And this is about the 3-year mark from that.
Yeah.
It's around the 3-year mark from starting the 75 hard and going down. It's about 2.5 years since I declared I'm doing a business. But I think when we just keep going at it till we get to that point where we figure out what that genius really is. And again, like I said, I kept thinking about the moth and the flame in the window, right? And I kept going towards the blog and I just felt like I was beating my head against the window. And I was like, all of a sudden the podcast, I'm like, psh, and like 2 weeks and this was done. And I think that's what it comes down to. But I wasn't able to do it alone. It was because of these conversations, because of putting myself out there and doing that it was able to happen. Yes, we have one more coaching session to give away. One more prize, last prize, the big prize, an hour. So if you have your podcast questions, your coaching ideas, whatever you want to pick my brain on, however you want to run the session, this will be your one-on-one session, however you want to do it.
All right,
Here
the
we go.
lucky
Here's our
winner
big winner.
is Jenna.
I think it's because I just texted
It's
you.
my
I
lucky day, but I would like you to spin the wheel again for someone else.
Oh, how sweet. All right, let's go. Giving back, paying forward. This gift goes to Cheyenne.
Woohoo! I'm looking forward to it.
Congratulations.
We're gonna dive in deep this time, Cheyenne.
Yeah,
I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you off the
usually
hook.
do. Fabulous. Thank you, Michelle.
Well, we've already at 8:08. If there's any final questions, comments, remarks, I am just so thankful that each and every one of you came. You have filled my heart. I am so full of gratitude. And it really is that, as Lori was saying, that we did this together. It's the community that we've created together, that we're pushing each other forward. Because as each one of us rises, we're all going to rise and support each other in that rise. So if you want to rate the podcast, I would love if you did it on either Spotify or Apple. And I was looking at both of them today. You have to be doing it from a phone. So if you're a Samsung person, go do the Spotify from your Spotify app. If you're an Apple person, go do the Apple from your Apple phone. And I'm actually going to make sure it is on Apple. I did register it. I just never actually checked. So if anyone
I didn't
does
see it. I was actually, that was my question, was if you're going on the Apple podcast, because I just looked and I did not find it.
Do we have any links that we can drop in the chat right now for it? Do you have any?
I have just the I have the one for Spotify. I did register with all of them. I wasn't quite sure how it quite worked. And so I'm still working on that, but I did register the link and everything I was supposed to do. It kept being on my list to go verify everything, and that one slipped through the cracks, but I will be working on that.
Yeah, Apple made me go back 2 times before my podcast hit up there. So yeah, just go back and re-verify.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought I got a confirmation from Apple, but then maybe
if you find the link, just send it to me on Messenger, because I found the one on Spotify, but I actually don't use Spotify very often. I go to Apple Podcasts more often.
Okay. I will post it, and I will also post it in the Facebook group as soon as
Good. Okay. Yeah, you know me, Michelle. I need the links.
Yeah. And it'll definitely, if I get them, they'll be in one of the emails this week. As soon as I get that straightened out, I'm adding that to my to-do list. Right. Actually, it is on my to-do list. It says check podcast distribution. It's just not cropped off yet.
Thanks, dear. You're just radiating love, and I'm soaking it in, and I hope you're soaking in all the love you're getting.
I am. I'm looking at the chat, and I'm just so excited by it all.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay, thank
Made
you.
my day.
Michelle, save the chat.
Oh, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for Apple is what I'm hearing. So it might be a little bit longer, but we'll get there. Right now, we can at least listen through. And if you go to connectingmamas.com, I do have a way to just click a link to listen to the podcast. So it will take you directly to the podcast player through Spotify that you can just directly listen to on your browser without having to actually go to the app. You just can't leave reviews, and the reviews are only in the apps. But you can listen away.
Right? Is it on YouTube as well? Because you could put the link so we could leave YouTube reviews too.
So actually, if you from the Spotify link that's on there, at the top it says YouTube. You could just click the link right there to see it directly from YouTube too. And I would love you to click that way, because then it prompts you to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber.
Ren, can you take care of me on that, dear, so that I don't get lost? You're my tech
The link's in the
goddess,
chat right
so-
now. Will the
Oh, is
Apple
it? Okay.
the Spotify just podcast right here, that you can just listen directly to it on this link, the one that's in the chat right now. Or if you go to connectingmamas.com, you'll be able to click podcast there and get to it too. So all you have to remember is connectingmamas.com. It's all linked on there. Courses, everything is up to date. It's done. So thank you so much, ladies. I will let everyone.
Congratulations on your launch, Michelle.
Congrats.
Woo-hoo! Yes, congratulations. We did it. Yay!
Oh, 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 oh. Love
We
you,
did
Michelle.
We did it. I love you ladies so much. Thank you so much. Good night,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
See you on Thursday if you can make it. See you Thursday night, same time, same Zoom link. See you Thursday. Ah.